talking about all week that we wanted to call. Casey White and Vicky White are in custody. There was a pursuit this afternoon in Evansville, Indiana. Evansville, Indiana is about 219 miles from here. The U.S. Marshals were in pursuit of a black Ford pickup. I think it was a F Ford 150. And Casey White was driving that vehicle. Vicky White was a passenger. During the pursuit, the pickup truck wrecked. Casey White surrendered. Vicky White has been transported to the hospital for treatment. So this has ended a very long and stressful and challenging week and a half. It ended the way that we knew it would. They are in custody. What I'm very thankful for tonight is that no one was hurt. No citizens were hurt. No law enforcement officers were hurt as a result of this escape. Casey White is now back in custody, and I cannot express enough to the U.S. Marshals Fugitive Task Force for the assistance they've been in this. Their agents are actually the ones that were involved in the pursuit. And my team of investigators who worked diligently alongside the U.S. Marshals Task Force, all the other partners and players in this, the least of which is not the media. You guys have made this happen. You've kept this story out there. You've kept it on everybody's mind. And the tips, what led us to the arrest and the capture of them today was a tip that came from citizens. And they call those tips in because of the coverage y'all have provided us. You don't know how much I personally appreciate the way y'all have helped us in this case. We got a dangerous man off the street today. He is never going to see the light of day again. And, that's a good thing for not just our community, but that's a good thing for this country. So thank you very much for your help. I'll be glad to take a few questions.
What's the nature of Vicky White's wounds?
Don't know. Just know she's been transported to the hospital for treatment. There was a wreck. I don't know if the wounds are related to the wreck or not. I'm sorry.
Are they caught in the same vehicle that you see in the pictures that were circulated today?
I'm sorry?
Are they caught in the same vehicle
as yes, I think so. That Ford F-150.
What's the connection to Evansville, Indiana? Why there for them?
Don't know if anything particular drew them to that town. But that's where we got the latest tip, which came in late last night, I think, or last night. Followed up on it first thing this morning, and they were able to get some leads there, and it led to their capture.
Where exactly did the chase start?
Where did the chase start? I'm not sure. My understanding is that they had located them at a hotel, and they spotted them, ran, and the pursuit ensued.
Sheriff, we spoke to some of the folks that called that tip in up in Indiana, and they said they had actually alerted local law enforcement last week on Tuesday about that abandoned truck, and that it's taken several days for all the tips coming in to be able to get through those, get down the list. Was there something last night that changed your idea about why it might actually be a real sighting of Casey White? Vicky White?
No, I'm not aware of the earlier tip.
When will they be brought back here?
Not sure. They'll have to be extradited if they don't waive extradition. That can take some time. Of course, court proceedings involved in that. Over here, I heard someone over here.
Will they actually be brought back here, or
yes.
The connection, is it just too deep to...
No, they will be brought here. He has to be brought back here, and she does, to face arraignment on the new charges. He's charged with escape. She has multiple charges on her now. They will have to be brought back here for arraignment. We've already made arrangements with the Department of Corrections. He will be brought here for arraignment. If it's 2 o'clock in the morning, it doesn't matter. The judge has agreed to come out. He will be arraigned and immediately transferred to the Department of Corrections.
Are you concerned about Vicky White coming back to this detention center since she worked here?
She will not be she will not be confined in this detention center.
Sheriff, what, if anything, at this point would you like to say to Vicky for that?
I hope she survives this. I don't know the extent of her injuries. I hope she survives it. We don't wish any ill will on Vicky in terms of her health or her well-being, but she has some answers to give us, and hopefully we'll have the opportunity to get those answers.
Was there any kind of struggle?
Not that I'm aware of. I think it was just a pursuit. They wrecked and they were taken into custody. I understand he surrendered.
Were they found with any guns or?
I haven't got that information. I'm not sure.
How was she injured?
Don't know. I don't know if it's a result of wreck or if it's some other kind of injuries.
Is
I
there
know.
any indication, Sheriff, that one of them shot themselves during this chase?
Can't confirm that. I know that no law enforcement officers fired any shots for sure.
Sheriff, the eyes of the country, people across the world, in fact, have been watching and following this manhunt, from here in Lauderdale County and now through 3 different states. How have you managed to keep going every day and keep that energy that we've seen here throughout this search?
I just wanted to get them off the street. I was committed to that. I was committed to every resource we had available to us to use those resources to make this event happen, to make this press conference possible.
Did you expect this outcome?
I'm sorry?
Did you expect this outcome?
I did. I've always expected this outcome. I knew we would catch them. It's just a matter of time. What was so challenging about this escape was, most escapes from a county jail especially, they're not planned. They're just sort of spontaneous. There are no resources available, no plan in place about what am I going to do when I get out here other than just run. This escape was obviously well planned and calculated. A lot of preparation went into this. They had plenty of resources, had cash, had vehicles, had everything they needed to pull this off. And that's what made this last week and a half so challenging. We were starting from ground zero, and not only that, we were they got a 6-hour head start on us. So it's been a and this just speaks volumes to the effectiveness and the efficiency. It speaks volumes to the effectiveness and efficiency of the United States Marshal Service. This is what they do. They track down fugitives, and today is obvious that they do it well.
Is there any reason to believe they had help in their escape?
No evidence that I know of that there was anyone else involved other than Casey White and Vicky White.
Someone going to get the money? So
That I don't know about. That's not my deal.
Are they talking yet or keeping quiet? Did they have anything to say once they're in custody?
I have no idea. They're obviously in Indiana, and I'm here, so I don't really know what's going on as we speak. But
are you all sending folks to Indiana? Do you have people up there?
the U.S. Marshals are up there. We will probably wait until they get back here. I don't see any need in us sending someone up there, because they'll be brought back here. And now if they don't waive extradition and are up there for a while, we may end up sending a team up.
Sheriff, can you talk about lessons learned? We've talked over the week about protocols that are in place for your employees, but will there be changes or lessons that you've learned from this entire situation?
Well, the lesson that I think I've learned, and I think everybody's learned, you don't know who you can trust. I had every bit of trust in Vicky White. She has been an exemplary employee. And what in the world provoked her or prompted her to pull a stunt like this, I don't know. I don't know if we'll ever know. But, you as a leader, you've got to have people in place in these key positions like she was in, that you have confidence in, that you have trust in. And when they violate that trust, I don't know how you can predict that. We had the policy. A policy is a piece of paper. It can't prevent anything. A policy is there for me as a leader to take disciplinary action when a policy is violated. I can't predict when someone's going to violate a policy, but one more time, I've learned that you just don't know people sometimes. You think you do, and you really don't know who they
How
are.
would you compare this moment to some of the other events that have happened in your tenure as sheriff?
Not just my tenure as sheriff. September of this year will mark the 50th anniversary of me beginning my career. I've never experienced a week like this in my career.
Sheriff, you've been in contact with Pat Davis, Vicky's mom, over the course. You had one sheriff that you said that was kind of your liaison.
Yes.
Have you spoken to her since their capture?
I have not. That deputy is at her home as we speak.
So he's talking
He was
to her right
he was
now?
dispatched there. That's one reason we had to delay the press conference a while, to give him time to get to their house.
So she was alerted before the press
Yes.
conference?
You said Vicky won't be in the Lauderdale County Detention Center. Do you know what the plans are when she's called back here?
Vicky, we'll make arrangements to have her detained in another facility. And in fact, those arrangements have already been made. Those arrangements were made 3 or 4 days ago.
Mr. Connolly, can you speak a little to the general upcoming prosecution of this? Just talk to us about
Well,
that.
we primarily want to bring him back here and hold him accountable, not only for this escape, obviously, but for the murder of Vicky Ridgway. Connie Ridgway. So we're going to be working with the sheriff's department to make sure that we can get him extradited and get him back here and hold him accountable.
In general, though, how do you, obviously, the extra precaution placed on him given this escape, what are your thoughts on it in terms of bringing him to trial and filing charges? Can you go over the immediate charges that are coming out of
Well,
this?
I mean, his capital murder case is set for June. So, plan A would be to try him in June for that. And there are a lot of moving parts between there and now, but I mean, that's plan A. And obviously, I know that we got a great staff at the jail, and I know that they're going to be on high alert to house him and make sure that he doesn't get away from us again.
And talk about the charges coming against Vicky and how you will pursue that.
So she's charged with facilitating the escape. That's a Class C felony, so she's looking at up to 10 years in prison.
Mr. Connolly, you've been in contact with Connie Ridgway's family, her son. Can you talk to me about making that call to them and letting them know about his capture? Has that been done yet?
Yes, I mean, that was our first priority when we found out that they were captured, is to let them know that, and we've done that, so they know.
Can you tell me about that conversation? Where you seemed like you were probably excited to make that call. What was their take on the other end?
Well, to be frank, they already knew it from Facebook. So apparently the people in Indiana had already released it on Facebook. But yeah, well, I mean, but that's part of what we take very seriously, is to make sure that our victims are informed and consulted about the case, and we've done that.
And all of this, everyone talking about Vicky and Casey and their love story and whatnot, they're real victims of Casey White's crimes and alleged victims of Connie Ridgway.
Absolutely, and I mean that's one of the really sad things about this, that after finally being able to indict him for her murder, of having this twist and turn in that case, it's got to be devastating to them. So we look forward to bringing him to justice.
What was the reaction from Casey's ex-girlfriend who was trying to kill?
I have not spoken to her, so I don't have any reaction from her.
For you, Mr. Connolly, just one last question. There's a lot of media attention. There's a lot of just eyes on this case. What does that mean for you and your office to make sure that everything, your I's are dotted, your T's are crossed to get this pushed through?
I tell you, my main concern is the media. I obviously in favor of fair reporting, but we want to try this case right here in Lauderdale County. So, our goal in the next days and weeks as we go ahead is we want to be cooperative with the media, but we also want to be mindful that we don't want to change a venue, for instance. We want to be able to try this case here in Lauderdale County among his peers. So we've got to take that into account as we go forward in the days ahead. Thank y'all.
Let me add, a question was asked earlier about changes in protocol and whatnot. The day will come when Casey White will have to be brought back here for trial. And I can assure you, we have a crowding dilemma at our corrections facility. We have about 315 inmates with 256 beds. We're using every crook and cranny we can in that bed to house inmates, but he will be in a cell by himself if we have to put other inmates on the floor to make it happen. He will stay in handcuffs and shackles while he's in that cell. If he wants to sue me for violating his civil rights, so be it. He's not getting out of this jail again. I'll assure you that. Any other questions? Thank you so much.
Listening to a news conference with Lauderdale County Sheriff Rick Singleton, District Attorney Chris Connolly in Lauderdale County. Chris Connolly talking about the situation with the Whites, where the Whites are. Well, that has been solved this afternoon with that breaking news. We do know that Casey and Vicky White are now in custody. The two have been found. U.S. Marshals today getting a tip. The two were in a hotel in Evansville, Indiana. They went to that hotel. The two got into a navy blue truck. Marshals in pursuit. High-speed chase. The truck apparently wrecked or flipped over or somehow came to a stop. Vicky, according to the sheriff there in Vandenberg County, Indiana, shot
Indiana, of all places, and we are covering here live and watching this tow truck pull these vehicles out of the ditch. And hopefully here soon we'll get a good look at this Cadillac, the suspect's vehicle, or the presumably a stolen vehicle. We don't have a whole lot of information at the time as far as what might be in the vehicle. Sheriff Dave Wedding indicated that they have to get their search warrant first before they can thoroughly search the vehicle for any other weapons. With their understanding, there was one weapon in the vehicle. We don't know what type of firearm it was, but the female, Vicky, had shot herself. We don't know where. We imagine it was shortly after the vehicle came to a stop from the pursuit. Again, we'll continue to watch here while this tow truck pulls these vehicles out of the ditch. Another tow truck's pulling up now. Again, thank you for tuning in. Evansville Watch. Correction, there's actually 3 tow trucks here now.
think it took the audio from that, which when I was on the phone, I heard full silence, so I think they took the first channel tap off. Well, I forgot
That's one which makes weird. So I told Taylor, like, send their statements out of here. And
Yeah, we gotta go, yeah.
Looks like right now law enforcement's getting all their equipment out of their vehicles so that they can be towed. Our imagination might lead us to believe that because the vehicles are involved in a pursuit that they have to be towed from the scene. Myself, I'm not sure if that's a policy or what have you. I'm sure it's necessary for the investigation. Well, it looks like some of the vehicles that were involved in pursuit are driving away.
Apprehended Vicky White, the former law enforcement officer, in serious condition for a self-inflicted gunshot wound. Casey White, the former inmate, I believe, convicted of murder. He was supposed to be on his way for a mental health evaluation, also in custody, but not injured. I believe that's the most current update.
Yeah, Mike, I appreciate that recap on your part. Wonderful job. I'm going to take you off here real quick. And just a reminder, we're Local News Live, Grade TV, 7-day-a-week digital network. We'll leave you with this shot here. This is a look at the Sheriff Department in Lauderdale County, Alabama. And actually, you know what? I'll twist back here real quick as we sign off. This is Evansville, Indiana, WFIE again. The escaped inmate and ex-deputy are in custody following a chase. The ex-deputy, Casey White, suffered serious self-inflicted gunshot wounds. We'll end the stream there. We appreciate you tuning in on Local News Live. I'm Brian Pierce. That's Mike Bell. Please stick with us. We'll continue to give you updates as we gain more information. But for now, a 3-minute break and back with more on Local News Live.
Streaming 24/7, you're watching.
Appreciate you tuning in on Local News Live. I'm Brian Pierce. That's Mike Bell. Please stick with us. We'll continue to give you updates as we gain more information. But for now, a 3-minute break and back with more on Local News Live.
Streaming 24/7, you're watching Local News Live.
Yeah, it was a mistake, truth be told. I mean, we have our description boxes already made up. They're like this automatic kind of thing, and I didn't fix anything. I just immediately went live. It was definitely nothing malicious about it. I don't even cover the Wells case. That I need to fix that. Period. Okay, we'll take a look over here real quick and see what's going on with this. And then I just wanted to get this out here to you guys, and in case you hadn't heard about it. Okay, that was the vehicle. This was shortly after it happened. And as you see, Casey was also taken to the hospital, as you see over here on the right, but he had only a minor injury. So it looks like the bullet grazed him, but not sure if she's going to make it.
He said the sheriff just wants over there by the
Yeah, I was actually recording all of that as it was happening, so I've got it from start to finish. If no one else puts it on YouTube, I will put it up there. This was also a stolen vehicle, I believe. Yeah, see, that's what I was hearing at first, is that Casey shot himself in the head. But that's definitely not what's being said now. Okay, I just wanted to get that out there for you all and while it was happening. And I want to thank you all so much. We may come back tonight and do a live on this later on if I get some more information together in it. Let's all, say a little prayer for Vicky. Let's hope she pulls through this because it's a bad deal. Can't even believe she put herself in this situation, but she did. So let's all say a prayer for her, and I'll try to be back later if anything else comes out. Thank you all so much for being